Mr. New York himself, Nick Licalzi. Number 4 ASU took on number 7 University of Oklahoma this past weekend and swept the Sooners for what Coach Powers said was probably the first time in school history, winning 5-1 on Friday night and 6-3 on Saturday night.
Austin, after going 2-0-2 in the regular season against Oklahoma last year, the Sun Devils were bounced in the first round of the national tournament. After losing Cal Dolinsky early to a borderline DQ call this weekend, it was the captain who took over for ASU. Whatever Oklahoma did to spark the memories of last year's national tournament in the mind of number 15, they surely regret today, as Colin Heckel absolutely dominated the Sooners, scoring 5 goals and recorded 6 points as he single-handedly dismantled Oklahoma.
Yeah, Nick, Colin Heckel outscoring the whole Sooners team this past weekend, and he's really living up to having that C on his chest.
Heckel has been the most imposing player on the ice for ASU in a variety of different ways, Austin. He's one of the team's top penalty killers. He is their number 1 center. He's the first one to stand up for his teammates whenever the game gets chippy, and after this past weekend, he has taken over the team's scoring lead by a wide margin. He has quickly become Coach Powers' dream captain, and I don't think the coach could picture his team without number 15.
Yeah, there were a lot of firsts this weekend for the Sun Devils. Stefan Jensen got his first goal of the season after multiple times of being in the right place at the right time. And newcomers Connor Buchanan and Dom Torelli got their first points of this season.
Jensen has been one of the hardest working Sun Devils all year round, so it was certainly good to see number 12 find the back of the net. After battling injuries in the early part of the year, Jensen appears to be healthy and on the verge of kicking it into high gear for the Maroon and Gold. I think Connor Buchanan opened a ton of eyes this past weekend, Austin, as he got his first ice time for ASU. He picked up a pair of assists and made his presence felt on nearly every shift. Coach Powers has done a fantastic job picking his spots to get everyone in the lineup, and it paid huge dividends this weekend for him as Don Torelli netted the first of his career as well. Torelli was steady on the back end and the coach could not have asked him to do much more in just his second career start.
He definitely couldn't have. Coach Powers has to be proud of the guys after they swept Oklahoma this weekend. When we come back, we're going to sit down with senior goaltender Mark Schacker. You're watching Hell Frozen Over.
That was a little quick. Huh? Was I? Did it? Alright, that's not good then.
Just you need to slow down when you're going through the reading stuff, that's all. Yeah, scoot.
Pop that in, make sure you can hear us. Yeah, great, now I just screwed this up.
Does he have to scoot more, Nick?
Check.
Yeah, you're good.
Check.
Is he good? Hess, can you hear him? Check 1, 2.
Hess, do you hear me? Hess.
Check, yeah, you can hear us, yeah.
Leonardo, you hear me? Check.
Rise to the challenges before us.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like I was reading that now that I think about it.
Joining us now, senior goaltender Mark Schacker. Mark, you're 8-1 on the season with a 1.95 goals against average. What's led to your success so far this season?
Well, I think it's a number of things. We got a good team in front of me this year. The D are making it fairly easy for me most of the time. They're keeping shots from bad angles. They're giving me the shot on the 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. So aside from that, we also got a great goalie coach, Jeff Tecca. He's been helping me out a lot. It's the team brings a lot of energy night in and night out, and it's easy for me to feed off of. So.
And Mark, how big of a difference is having a dominant number 1 pairing like Ryan Clark and Brian Parson made for you this season?
It's a really big difference. I mean, last year, the year before that, you weren't sure which guy was going to step up and play lockdown D, and this year we know those two guys are coming ready to play every night, but I don't want to pump their tires too much. Humble them a little bit.
You swept Oklahoma for what Coach Powers said was probably the first time in school history. How big of a sweep was that for you and this team?
Oh, it's huge. It's definitely big for our team. It's big for our school. It's big for the history that we're trying to build and the team that we're trying to build on, and moving forward, we want to be that team that Oklahoma fears year in and year out. So beating them convincingly both nights was huge for us.
Does the locker room feel any different this year, Mark, than it has in the past 4 years? It looks like Colin Heckel has kind of a better control on the team as captain than we've seen in the past. Do you guys get that same feeling in the locker room?
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely a different feel this year. Heckel's a great captain, and it also, I got to give some credit to the new guys on the team. They're buying into the system. They're doing their rookie duties. There's nobody that's coming in and back talking or not trying to do what they have to do. So it's a good team all around.
This is your 4th year as a Sun Devil. How does this team compare to the rest? And is this a national championship team, you think?
I'd say compared to the other teams that we've had here in my 4 years, we're probably about average, maybe a little better than average, but definitely a national championship winning quality team, I'd say. I mean, if you look at how we've compared to some of the top teams in the league the past couple of weekends, we're right up there with them, and I think that on any given night, we're just as good as even number 1 ranked Penn State right now.
Mark, Central Oklahoma has given you guys a little bit of a fit in the past. What do you think it's going to take to kind of handle all the hard work that they bring? They're not exactly the most talented team, but they always bring their shovel and pail and get to work. What's it going to take to sweep them?
I think we're just going to have to keep doing what we do. Our forecheck has been great. We outwork teams lately. We're out shooting teams every game. So if we kind of stick to what we've been doing, I think we'll be fine. And even last year, we swept them, I believe, the first weekend that we played them in the beginning of the year. So I'm not too worried about this team and how we're going to play against Central Oklahoma. Completely different mindset this year compared to years past.
Well, Mark, thank you for joining us. On the other side of this commercial break, we're going to have sophomore forward Dave Jantzie sitting with us. You're watching Hell Frozen Over.
Imagine what it feels like to be a champion. To have sold-out crowds every game. To know that night in and night out, your team is the best.
1-0 pitch, swung on and is looped into shallow right field. That'll drop, and the Sun Devils have won it!
We all want to win, but are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Are you willing to make a year-round commitment to being a Sun Devil? Will you be there for us every game, helping us win? Make a difference by joining the Sun Devil Club. It's one thing to be there when history is made, but wouldn't it be great to know you helped make history? One devil at a time, we all join the club.
In the need for a bartender? Hey Bartender offers old-fashioned service mixed with a contemporary style. Professional bartenders are available for your next wedding, mixer, graduation, pool party, or banquet. To order service for your upcoming event, call 602-410-2227 or visit heybartender-az.com.
Hey, bartender! Hey, man!
Maybe you think work stops at 5 o'clock, that the evening is a time for watching TV, taking a little walk around the block, or hanging out with friends. Maybe you're the type who does some light reading. For Sun Devil football, no matter what time it is or where we are, the work never stops. It's time to go to work. It's time to be a Sun Devil.
Welcome back to Hell Frozen Over. Joining us now, the always entertaining Canadian kid, Dave Jantzie. Dave, you were on the national tournament team last year that Oklahoma knocked out. How good did it feel to get a sweep this weekend?
Well, it felt pretty good. I mean, you always want to beat them when it really counts, so it still stings a little bit, especially the way we lost last year. I mean, it was a close game all the way through, and then we just got caught in the last seconds there, and got the goal disallowed. So, I mean, it's really good we beat them, and the way we beat them, I mean, they weren't really too close either, the games, and I mean, we'll build off of it, and hopefully we'll meet them again later on in the year.
Dave, you're off to a 10-1 start. You defeated the Lindenwood Lions and swept Oklahoma, both first in school history. Does this team have a little bit of a different feel around it?
I mean, like, I don't know how many guys we brought in this year, but I mean there's a lot. So it's interesting to see where we can go, and I mean there is a different feel. Guys are definitely coming in a little bit more prepared to play, and I think we do have a special group here, so I hope we can really turn into a top contending team, and I know we will be there all year. So
now, Dave, Coach Powers, brought in a lot of recruits this offseason. Out of them, who's really stepped up so far in your eyes?
Well, apart from the obvious, I mean, like Clark, Finley, Dolinsky, I mean, the guys we had last year that came and played forward for us have been doing an unbelievable job. Brett Preckle and Dan Anderson have played unbelievably well, and I think they're near the top for plus minus on our team, so they're chipping in, and like they're considered as our fourth line, which is really crazy. So I mean, if we got those guys every night and they're scoring for us, I mean there's no one else that can really contend. So hopefully we can keep it going, and we'll see where it goes.
And Dave, the defense has taken a real large step forward this year. How crucial have Ryan Clark and Brian Parson been to your team?
I think they really feed off each other really well. So it's not just in their own end; it's in the offensive end too. They're chipping in. They're scoring some big goals, and they're setting up some goals too. I think both of them play on the power play every night, and so. And there are another couple guys that are up there in the plus minus, which is really what matters when it comes to stats. And I think from here on, I think they're helping out Schacker, and that really shows in his stats too.
Nick mentioned it earlier with Mark. Central Oklahoma has given you guys a little bit of a problem in the past. They're number 18 in the country now. Do you consider this kind of a trap series?
Well, I mean, the way we have to approach this series is not as if they're an 18th ranked team. Last year maybe we overlooked them a little bit. I think we only scored like 2 goals the two games we played them in Oklahoma. So I mean that's not good enough to win any games in this league. And I think if we play the way we should be playing, and we don't take this series off as we play every other team every weekend is a top 10 ranked team, it seems like. I mean, I don't think we should lose to them at all. So,
Dave, you had kind of a scary moment this past weekend. Benjamin Finley went down and was down for quite some time. What was going through your mind when you saw number 7 kind of hit the ice and not moving there for a little bit?
Well, he's on my line, so I was a little worried, and you never like to see a guy go down, but I was really happy to see that he's not going to be out too long, and hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. He's a big part of our team.
That he is. Well, Dave, thank you for joining us this week. Good luck against Central Oklahoma. When we come back, we're going to have a new segment here on Hell Frozen Over. It's going to be Nick Merrick's top plays. Stay with us. You're watching Hell Frozen Over.
Catering to luxury living, Dolce Villaggio is a modern townhome community located at 2nd Street in Hardy, near ASU, Tempe Arts Center, Sky Harbor Airport, and the Metro Light Rail. Dolce Villaggio offers 2- and 3-bedroom homes featuring exquisite kitchens, granite counters, stainless steel appliances, comfortable living areas, 2-car garages, plus a community pool and spa. For pricing and availability of these gorgeous townhomes, visit our website at www.dolcevillaggio.com.
Tacos? Nah. Burgers? Yesterday. Right.
I'm thinking
Mongolia.
maybe you think it's
Looking
just
for a fresh, healthy alternative? Take a trip to Genghis Grill. Spice up your favorite meats and seafood, and load up on veggies. Choose a sauce, and let our Genghis Grill masters cook your selection to perfection. Genghis Grill, masters of Mongolian stir fry.
Hey,
go vegetarian?
Chicken. Nations rally behind it. In the desert, a new pitchfork born from sand and
Welcome back to Hell Frozen Over. I'm Nick Merrick. This is a brand new segment we're doing here this week, a little break from Nick Licalzi and Austin Controulis. But right now I'm going to give you guys the top 5 plays that I picked from last week of the ASU versus Oklahoma match. So the number 5 for me is going to be Colin Fernandes, and his spectacular save against the Sun Devils will give him the nod at number 5. You'll see here on the replay, just absolute snipe from the blue line. His glove came out of nowhere, protecting that top left shelf, and just snared one. Number 4 of this week is going to go to Patrick Rogan, big number 28 for the Sun Devils. Not the fanciest move by him, however, but it did get the Sun Devils on the board early in that first period, something that the Sun Devils have been looking to do here again in slow motion. It was the feed that really set that one up, and nice stick handling there by Patrick Rogan to contain the puck, come in on sides, keep his composure, and then just have an open 5-hole on Fernandes. Number 3 this week is again going to be an ASU highlight, as the captain, that's a Schacker save, excuse me. Mark Schacker comes out of the net, plays it big, and it's always great to see big number 30 come up in the nets. Number 2, excuse me, got a little ahead of myself. That one was the Colin Heckel goal on the feed by Dolinsky there. So, again, just like number 4 with Patrick Rogan, it was the setup of the passing game that really let Colin Heckel break through, and certainly he had one spectacular weekend, as the boys mentioned, coming with the Hattie in that first game and finishing with 4 goals. And finally, we're going to go to number 1 of the week. Have to give it to number 7, Benny Finley. And here it is right now. Finley comes in with the breakaway chance, absolutely undressed Fernandes in goal, slid it past them, and it's just simply the speed of Finley to do work, get it into the zone quickly. And again, second chance that we've seen for the Sun Devils to really utilize the breakaway chances, and that's young speed on the team to capitalize. That was my top 5 picks for this week. I'll be here every week to give you the top 5 from the current matchups. But right after this commercial break, we'll come back with Nick Licalzi and Austin Controulis to give you this weekend's matchup against Central Oklahoma.
How do we rise to the challenges before us? Arizona State University.
Catering to luxury living, Dolce Villaggio is a modern townhome community located at 2nd Street in Hardy, near ASU, Tempe Arts Center, Sky Harbor Airport, and the Metro Light Rail. Dolce Villaggio offers 2- and 3-bedroom homes featuring exquisite kitchens, granite counters, stainless steel appliances, comfortable living areas, 2-car garages, plus the community pool and spa. For pricing and availability of these gorgeous townhomes, visit our website at www.dolcevillaggio.com. Dolce Villaggio, the place you want to call home.
Welcome back to Hell Frozen Over. That was Nick Merrick with the top 5 plays. Nick, thanks for doing that. I thoroughly enjoyed that segment.
I definitely did too.
And the viewers at home got a good break from me and you, so I guess it was much needed according to Nick. But Nick, there were some big games around the ACHA this past weekend. How'd those pan?
Austin, you're exactly right. There were some huge ones. Number 1, Penn State sweeps Ohio 7-1 and 5-3. The Delaware Blue Hens sweep Rhode Island 5-2 and 6-2. Davenport rebounds with a big sweep over Liberty. Lindenwood sweeps Central Oklahoma, and maybe the biggest surprise, the University of Arizona splits with Iowa State.
Wow, Nick. So Arizona hockey really turning up the heat this past weekend. ASU getting the sweep. U of A beating Iowa State once. Pretty impressive.
And now we're going to look at this week. Austin, number 1, Penn State, and number 10, Rhode Island. Number 3, Ohio, takes on Davenport. Delaware takes on 15th-ranked Stony Brook. Number 8, Iowa State versus Illinois. So Iowa State going to look to bounce back after splitting with the University of Arizona. Liberty versus Adrian right there as Adrian tries to make their way back into the top 10. And Robert Morris takes on Minot State. So a lot of quality matchups in the ACHA this week.
That's 2 weeks in a row of quality matchups in the ACHA in the top 25. We have number 18, Central Oklahoma, coming into town. And Nick, as we've been mentioning, they've really given us some trouble in the past.
That they've had. They've given ASU a handful each time. Central Oklahoma is not the most talented team, but they come in and they're going to work harder than just about anybody else you see. Last year, they were backstopped by a really solid goaltender, Nick Holmes, who a lot of times we referred to as the best goalie that we had seen, and quite frankly, he was. He's no longer there, so I think ASU is going to have a little bit of an advantage in net, but Central Oklahoma is not going to stop working, and if ASU takes these games lightly, the holiday weekend with Halloween here, you could see Central Oklahoma maybe coming up and biting them in the butt, Austin.
Yeah, Holmes actually going to Oklahoma, we found out last week. He might be number 2 guy there next semester. But if he was the best you guys saw last year, it's pretty impressive that Oklahoma managed to give him away. We both predicted sweeps last week against Oklahoma. We got those sweeps. We're going to predict again this week. How do you think Central Oklahoma ASU is going to end up?
I think we're going to have to go sweep again by the way it goes. If ASU loses to Central Oklahoma, it's really going to be a step back in the wrong direction. The big thing for ASU this week, though, is the loss of Ben Finley, Austin, and how they're going to fill those shoes. Ryan Eaker's going to be the one to replace him. So we'll see if he's able to do that. Eaker's going to get the go on that line with Dave Jantzie. And Stephen Jensen, That's going to really be an important line for Arizona State. We caught up with Finley earlier in this week. I don't know if we have that segment. We do, so we're going to throw it to our interview with Ben Finley right now.
Took a pretty hard hit into the boards there, and prognosis is a separated AC joint in my right shoulder. So, looks like I'll be missing a couple weeks minimum. It's pretty sore right now, but swelling's gone down quite a bit since Saturday night, and there's been progress made.
Well, it should be an exciting weekend. Number 18, Central Oklahoma. We won't have Ben Finley, which is too bad, but he will be back here in a couple of weeks. That's all the time we have for tonight on Hell Frozen Over. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next Wednesday.